I was about to say. It's 447 or 448.
What's up? It's tea time. We don't know what episode number this is. It'll say it on the screen. 447, 448, Lisa?
Yeah. Check out the title of this episode. Today we are going to be we're drinking a couple teas, but a little more casually.
Yeah.
This is kind of the results of a blind tasting we did, organized by Mr. SteamedMilk, so thank you, Mr. Milk.
Mr. Milk, you're the best. Mr. Milk. So good.
Sounds like a children host.
Yeah, right.
And now Mr. Milk's going to bring out the zoo animals.
Yeah, let's tie balloons.
Well, as you know, we both have small children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all relevant. But seriously, thank you, dude, because it was a lot of work. And just so people out there know, it wasn't just blinded. It was truly blinded where every single person got a unique identifier for each of their tea packages. So literally, I could not even make sense talking to James about the tea numbers because we had different numbers.
Yeah.
And the numbers didn't even start with the same digits. So a lot of work. It was as blind as it could have been in my mind. Should we give away the punchline, or what do you think?
Sure, let's do it.
So the blind was basically, let us know, what do you guys think in terms of are in these dai cakes? Which ones? And then there was a reference dai tea. So 6 teas and one reference tea. Figure out which ones are dai, and then rank them objectively, subjectively, and then estimate grams, cost per gram. Right? Is that about right? And SteamedMilk punked all of us by just using 7.5 for 2.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah. But some of them were traditionally stored.
Right.
And some of them, what about, no, there's one that was not, right? The KK.
Okay, let me check now.
Yeah. But yes, the theme was definitely like a lot of 7542s. One of them was the Shiza How 7542, which is definitely not a real 7542.
Exactly.
So that's like a boutique supposedly trying to imitate that.
Which was my favorite one.
Yeah, which is one of the ones we're bringing on.
Yeah.
We're bringing on both of our favorites here.
Right.
Another
there's
one,
a CNNP cake too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's another one we're bringing on here.
Right.
So that's one from 2004.
That's funny.
Essence of Tea sells it, and it was like a batch.
Yeah.
So and then and there's like Mopar 7542. That was another of the more traditionally stored ones. Let's. I'm not sure exactly how to coordinate this, but we'll start with AA, which was Denny's favorite, which is the Shiza How one.
Cool. Yeah. It was a really interesting experience because, again, going in blind, you genuinely don't know that they're all the same recipe, right? So if you were to go in knowing all the information, it really would inform your experience. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Deep green flavors.
Yeah.
Sweetness. And so these teas, drinking these 6 different teas, how did you drink them, actually, first off? What were your sessions like?
What I did is I drank through like 4 of them in one go.
Yeah.
As much as I could take. And then I was basically, on my first go through, I separated the more dank ones with the not. And then for my second go through, I did the 3 dank ones and then the 3 non-dank ones.
Got it.
And I compared them and then kind of chose the winners and losers. And I did kind of modified ratios where I wasn't drinking that much. Mm-hmm. And I was rinsing twice and stuff like that to get to it. So, I mean, those things are going to definitely advantage certain teas versus others. So definitely how you go about it could have some advantage. Like there was a couple drinkers that basically did a gauntlet where they went through everything.
Yeah.
Not going to out any names here.
Right.
But, and others were, I think, 1 a day. I think that was kind of common. What about you? How did you do it?
I did it kind of more like throw down the gauntlet style a little bit. I did 4, 3, 2, 1, I think. Because I lost one of the tea packages.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You're like I did all 5. I was like, there's 6 days.
I was like, God damn it.
It's like that's how you end up drinking another one at 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff. It's like, well, I'm gonna be up till midnight.
I was up till 2 a.m. that day. It was terrible.
Thanks, Mr. Mel.
Yeah.
Go play with the zoo animals. Cheers.
Bullying him for something you made up. It's not even it's like a... Anyway, it's a very TDB of us. Cheers. Nice
so
sweetness.
this is obviously one of the drier stored ones.
Yeah. Oh, so good. This one just, for me, is really easy drinking.
Is
Sweet.
this one that you guessed was dye or not?
Now I actually need to. I don't think so.
Okay. One of the prompts was guess if it's dye or not.
Yeah, no. So I guessed BB and ZZ, which were going to be the CCNP and the.
One of them's right. ZZ is right. Yeah.
And then this the one. So yeah, but I mean, one of them right.
Right.
They were all like trying to be dye. That was the joke, right?
I thought this one was clearly not dye. Too.
Okay, yeah.
So we both guessed that. Just something about the taste is not. Maybe it's like more different area of material, like northern material. Like for this one has kind of like a grassier taste to it.
Totally. Yeah. I think of all the teas, this was the one that I thought had the most promise for aging.
Interesting.
But actually, the first evening was really quite sweet and nice. So it was a cool experience going in for me, at least. Being blinded, it was just trying to like kind of figure out the teas. It's really about your subjective experience. What are you enjoying today? There's no other way to like grade the teas, right? You can't do it based on what you know about the teas.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, what is tasting good for you?
Yeah, and I mean, you drink tea very differently there when you have like you're not sure what the expectations are. It's like kind of what I imagined was that it was a bunch of factory teas, which is sort of correct, sort of not when it comes to this. And so I was basically you're trying to kind of guess what it is the whole time, even if you're trying not to drink it in that way. Right. Whereas like if you know a tea, you've had it a bunch of times, you're like, okay, I know what this tea should taste like. So you end up brewing and doing it in a way that you're trying to get a certain profile. Yeah. So there's definitely advantages towards...
And there were hints, too, for them being factory teas, like just the leaf material was quite chopped up. Yeah. But it was just really interesting. And I mean, they really all tasted very substantially different to me.
Yeah. This one, there's more smoky notes, or at least light smoky notes to it. I actually thought this might be a Shagwan tea, which turns out to be very incorrect as well.
Cheers.
Cheers. And this one was a bit middle of the pack for me, so Denny and I's ranking was fairly different, I'd say, in the end. Not totally complete opposite, but, somewhat different.
Yeah. And, this is nice. What was really interesting is there was data analysis on everyone's ranking of the different teas and how frequently people ranked certain teas higher than others and things like that. And the distribution of the information was very well distributed. So actually there was not deep consensus across the board for anyone. No. Which was really interesting because everyone was really, their subjective experience came through. It wasn't so obvious that like, oh wow, this is so much better than that. Yeah.
And in the tea that ended up technically getting the best score, which as Denny said earlier, it was close. It wasn't like it ran away with it. Totally. Is the 2008 Dye 7542 that Yeon sells, which is far from the most expensive cake. Yeah. I think it sells for like $80, something like that. So
I've been thinking about buying it, honestly.
Yeah, I actually I have a half cake that I never really drank before, and so I started drinking it. And I said, "Oh, okay, yeah,
cool, nice, interesting." So how long have you had that cake? I'm just curious as an aside.
Couple of years.
Okay,
I split it with a friend, and then I had it a couple times, and then for whatever reason, it just kind of has been sitting there waiting for me to drink it. And in fact, I made Denny a sample, coincidentally, like a month or two before. But I hadn't had it very much. So, it's a nice one. It's a good kind of benchmark to see what that sort of traditional storage does to something that's actually a diet cake.
Classic is what I described it as. Just easy drinking and delicious. Yeah. It was really fun, though, overall. And I mean, takeaways for me in terms of like learning, one, it was humbling. Obviously, I think I can kind of guess some of the stuff, and it's hard to guess it. And then also just storage. I mean, my gosh, these teas, they're all very similar aged, and the storage was just so impactful on all these different teas. So I've been learning a bit more too, drinking some of the stuff that I've kept stored versus have bought from different locations, and James has been really generous in giving me some samples for tasting different storage conditions and stuff. But I think my biggest takeaway was you can't just rely on. I was talking to my friend Joe about this. We were talking about like, can you step in the same tea river twice, like Heraclitus, right? Like philosophy shit. But can you even rely on, the year and recipe of a tea to be meaningful? And it's like, yes, but storage is like the final part of that. It's going to have such a big impact, especially if it's 10, 15, 20 years old.
Which all of these were.
Right.
I mean, the youngest one, I think, 2009, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Do you want to cut?
Yeah, cut and bring us back.
Oh. And we did actually have a consensus on one of the teas that we both didn't like at all, which was the 2009 7542, which is a unique special batch. It's the 901, which is one of the more sought after 7542s.
Really?
So, yeah, and it's one of the pricier ones. I think it was twice the cost of the Eon. And so that was, I think, at the bottom or towards the bottom of both of our lists.
UU?
Yep, UU.
Yeah, it was my last choice for me. It was so off-putting, which is just so funny because, again, it's like we're all drinking the same base material, roughly.
I thought it was like I did have it kind of pegged as a dye. Okay. I just thought it was not a very good dye.
Gotcha.
And it turns out it's a fairly sought after dye. So even when I'm right, I'm not quite right.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think hold your grip on being so good at all this stuff loosely and just have a fun experience and enjoy it, right?
Right.
And it was very much about a learning for me. Again, now I know, wow, I can't just rely on this recipe. I need to be tasting the tea cakes from the specific place I want to be buying them from.
Yeah.
Because each warehouse has a different character to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So this tea definitely has a little bit more humidity to it than the AA that we're drinking.
Totally.
So.
And that's just reflected for folks out there who can't see the liqueur as well in the liqueur color. These things just kind of come up. So it was interesting actually seeing the spent material in that one photo with there was a photo you probably saw where it was like all six of the
one
teas.
of the drinkers did a gauntlet.
Yeah. And it was interesting to see the subtle differences in the colors.
Yeah, and you can smell this and just tell this is wetter. This is actually one of the ones that was on the dry side of things. There were 3 that were danker.
That's kind of snickerdoodle.
Yeah, this one, a little bit of camphor and stuff coming in. Yeah, definitely kind of a different biological place than the other tea. And what I liked about this one is I thought the mouthfeel and the texture I thought stood out a bit, but mostly I thought the way its aftertaste interacted, like a little bit more stronger, like more protracted, and just kind of coats the back of the mouth, which I thought was stood out amongst the other drier stored ones.
So at home, I'll often drink tea for enjoyment kind of differently than I'm drinking tea for evaluation.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to enjoy my tea for evaluation too. We already talked about it, but were you doing anything different with your steepings in mid-session? Were you pushing some of them? Did you have any sort of strategy? Were you just doing everything normal?
No, I was definitely doing it differently. I did 4 grams rather than 5, which we're doing 5 here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I rinsed twice, and then I was quick to dump once I felt like I kind of understood it, because I wanted to drink a lot in close succession, and then I would do a few. Usually on the 3rd or 4th, I push it a bit, just kind of see what kind of bones it's made of. Does it get bitter? Does the aftertaste get a little stronger? And then move on to the next one. Yeah. And so on my second go around, the idea was to compare more similar teas. And for me, at least, the dank versus the not, it's quite a big difference.
Nice. Yeah.
Same
basically. I mean, honestly, 3rd steeping or so. Yeah, maybe 2 first and second steepings I would drink. 3rd steeping, push hard, boiling water, 30 seconds. It hurts a little bit, usually. But also interesting. And that's kind of where, for me, actually, there's kind of a sweet spot of, really bitterness, but, the sweetness that comes, the wing on the end of that is remarkable. It was cool, man. So this has kind of inspired me at home to try to do more blinding myself. But it's hard. Because even then, going into the session, okay, it's going to be this, right? So I've been thinking, maybe I have, 20 teas, and then I, have my wife go and do, pick the ones for me. I really don't know. I know it's, of the 20,
Okay, that's a lot of teas, yeah.
It is, but it's kind of hard to, blind yourself at home.
Yeah, I recently have recorded some in-between, so only one of them has come out so far. of blinding them.
Yeah.
And basically, I'll use those tins next to you.
Yeah.
You can pull 2 of them and put like an A and a B on the bottom.
Smart.
And then I'll write down, and I'll just mix them up a bunch.
Yeah.
Do it. And it's interesting. I would say sometimes I can immediately ID the tea, especially if I know it pretty well.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, if you did 20, then yeah, it'd be a lot harder.
Right.
Do you want to do one more on any of these,
Or
should we keep it light?
I'll do. What else are we drinking for this? Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, I'll do one more for sure.
Okay, I'll do one more on each. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense to me. But again, it's like there's something about just totally have no I mean, we knew it was Beware, raw Beware, but
LLGG was a new long. Joke's on you.
That'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really fun. So yeah, thanks again, dude. Mr. Milk, appreciate you, bruh.
Yeah.
It was cool and a lot of work. I think the way that he did it especially was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And everyone else who participated too. Everyone was just excited about it.
Yeah.
Like the vibe was
strong.
It was people were
all over the place.
Right. There was a lot of opinions, but I think everyone in that group, everyone understands about themselves that they're being a little ridiculous, I think.
Yeah.
In a healthy way, right? No one's like so taking themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
The memes are plentiful. So,
yeah. I'll be curious if people, if you did participate, because it was a fair amount of people. I think it was around 40 or so.
Yeah.
If people ended up buying cakes and whatnot, these both, well, I don't know. You can find both of these, I think, around for now at least. So this one on the right is in essence of T1. So you can see it pushing it gets fairly dark.
I think there's only one that was like a dude's storage, you know.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Mopars.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was actually one of the more divisive teas on there. Mostly because it's like, it's kind of an anonymous one where it's like not really dye. That was the one that would not be dye. And the storage was controversial because it's on the danker side of things.
Yeah.
I think that's one case where probably me rinsing twice benefited the tea. I ended up liking that tea a fair amount, but I'm kind of a dank storage, traditional storage enjoyer. Cheers. It's interesting to come back to this because like the sharpness is much stronger. What I don't like about this tea is that it's just a little bit narrow in its focus. Like it's a little.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like that grassy thing. Yeah. I don't dislike it. It's just it just feels a little different than the other teas here.
Yeah. A bit simpler maybe. But again, if you like the profile and it hits, that's great.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
So much more wood. You know, it really just has that kind of green wood complex. It really is just so much farther along.
And this one is just not very sweet at all. And then the sweetness kind of comes all in the aftertaste.
Yeah, I love that. Well, hey, I don't know. What do we tell people to go do? Go do some shit.
Yeah.
Go buy some cakes.
If Mr. Milk tells you that you should do something, you should do it.
I agree with that. Thanks again, dude. Seriously. Go and find some ways to experiment. If you have a tea buddy or something like that, blind each other. Not with the eyeballs.
Yeah. You know that Eli Roth movie, Hostel? That's what I'm talking about. You strap them to the chair.
Subscribe!
You feed them the tea. Don't go to Eastern Europe.
And until next time, we'll see you guys. Subscribe, do all this stuff, help us get to 10K, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We love you guys. Bye. Wu-Tang!